Good evening everyone, it's dark but it's time. Tonight we're going to complete book number 7 of the GrailQuest series that have been interrupted quite abruptly last week due to an internet service provider maintenance that I was unaware of, second time in April. Let's hope tonight it will be okay, but since we're only maybe a couple of dozen sections left to the book, I guess we'll be done before any kind of maintenance window. So let's start, or rather let's continue with the Tomb of Nightmares. We were at section 122, I guess. Not sure if you were still lost though. Ah yeah, there was the secret door inside the pit. Yep. Going to 122. Okay. And let's continue with that secret door. I think that's where we were at. This is interesting, Pip. Not to say a little disturbing. The passageway you are in runs west-east and descends towards the west. More to the point, it is filled with a dim but definite and extremely eerie green glow, the source of which you cannot immediately discover. The easternmost end of the passage is sealed by a door leading via a nasty trap to a dark corridor which will eventually take you back from where you came from, I think. The westernmost end leads to a flight of narrow steps, stone steps descending into the gloomy depth. Let's go down. Ah, yeah, I recall the statue. That's where we were at. Steps to the east descend into a square stone chamber, dimly illuminated by the ubiquitous, eerie green light. A figure stands in the center of the chamber, and you drop your hand to the hilt of your sword before your eyes adjust sufficiently for you to realize that it is no living being, but rather a life-size statue in granite. You move closer to inspect the figure, noting as you do so that there are no exits from this chamber, except for the stairs leading to the secret passage in the pit. The chamber itself is granite flagged and walled, with a ceiling comprising massive interlocking slabs of granite. The statue on closer inspection is a horror. It crouches, leering on a granite pedestal, blank eyes staring eerily. It is the statue of a creature that was once a man, but is now little more than a wasted animated corpse, richly dressed yet somehow exuding evil. On the plinth beneath the sandaled feet is an inscription, Grot Diodal. Beneath the inscription is a keyhole, and as you inspect it, you notice something else. The pedestal on which the statue stands might, with a little effort, be revolved to face the statue in different directions. What the car? Says a quiet voice. You leap back in terror, drawing EJ in a single movement. But nothing else moves. No attack comes. The chamber remains as empty as before. I must congratulate you, the quiet voice continues. And now you can see it is emerging from the mouth of the statue, which seems to be impregnated with some sort of magical recording medium. You have been so clever as to find this room, but the question is not that you have found it, but whether you will ever leave it alive. There is a pause, broken only by the pounding of your heart, before the voice continues. There are 4 exits from this chamber, a staircase to the east, and 3 others. To open any of the others, you need merely insert the golden key, then turn the statue in the direction you wish to go, north, south, or west. But be warned, those who set foot within my tomb may never return the way they came. And the voice fades. What do you make of all that, Pip? And what's this about a golden key then? You happen to have one, insert it in the keyhole and turn the statue north, south, or west at your choice. If you don't have this mysterious key, you may like to return, get a secret passage and the pit where you may begin your search for it. Actually, we had before the golden key, but we died, so we lost it. But maybe I shouldn't have deleted the golden key from my inventory when I died. But usually we are losing everything and we can get them back again, so it's kind of confusing here. But we found the golden key, that's the important part, and you can imagine that we're going back to the correct routes, get the golden key, come back here and put it in the keyhole, enter the statue. So now the question is, do we go north, south, or west? I'd like to go east, but that's where we came from. I'm not sure if we had kind of tip somewhere, but usually there are no hints in this series at all. Just us die and take a random path. Well, north, the closer section. I wonder if there's a secret passage in one of the 3. Nope. So, well, let's start north. With a slight grinding noise, a section of the northern wall slides back to reveal a wide stone flagged passageway leading northwards. You step forward into the passage, and a section of the wall slides back, effectively blocking your retreat. With a fatalistic shrug, you loosen EJ in his scabbard, ready for action, and begin to move off north to meet your destiny, which at this precise moment involves rolling 2 dice. Ah, damn. Score 7 or more. Nope, so that's less than 7. Is it the same? No, that's not the same. Yipes! Rolling down the corridor towards you is a giant fireball. You recognize it instantly, of course. This is exactly the sort of magical fireball you have used before in various adventures. It never misses, and scores a straight 75 points of damage, assuming, of course, the spell was properly cast, which may not actually be the case with this one, since the fireball is even now beginning to splutter and fizzle out. There may be some sort of lesson to be learned from that, Pip. But in the interim, you have reached a fork with corridors branching northwest and northeast. So, let's go northeast. The corridor runs northeast for some 50 feet, ending in an open shaft. You approach this carefully, well aware by now how dangerous this whole place can be. The shaft is circular, some 10 feet in diameter, and runs upwards and downwards from the level we are on. Although you look in both directions, you can see nothing. Each time the shaft simply disappears into darkness. You can, however, hear something. A low sighing noise, like wind through a tunnel. And unless you are very much mistaken, you can smell something as well. A faint whiff of the old familiar ozone scent of magic. The thing is, will you chance entering this shaft? If you want to leap in gaily without a care in the world, you can do so. If you still have your rope, you might try to climb down, or you can of course backtrack and try another direction. Still have our rope? Yes, we do, because it was mandatory. Let's go with the rope. Even with your rope, you find you can't get all the way down to the bottom. You hang there in the shaft, trying to make your mind up what to do, which is not at all easy in these circumstances. You may of course be quite close to the bottom, The trouble is, you can see more than a few yards down. If you want to risk letting go of the rope and jumping, you can do so, or you can of course climb back up the rope and backtrack. Hey. Quite dangerous. We have something to lose though. We found absolutely no treasure so far, so I don't really care. Our HP is horrible. Just try it out. Maybe die in the process. With some vague thought that you might be dropping into water, you hold your nose and let go of the rope. Unfortunately, your vague thought proves totally inaccurate. That crunching noise is your bones as you eventually reach the bottom of the shaft. Yep. Well, we can get better life points now. Yeah, 3 times. 44 plus 2. And we can backtrack our way from where we came. And take the northwest branch. The corridor runs northwest for about 50 feet before turning due north and ending in a stout wooden door. You reach the door and listen, but there is no sound. Cautiously, you try the door. It opens silently, allowing you access to a long but narrow chamber running east-west. In the northern wall of the chamber are set 3 doors. Directly in front of each one is a closed coffin. You edge forward suspiciously, and as you do so, your movement seems to trigger a spell of some description. For there is the familiar blue lightning flash of magic before a soft voice speaks from the air above your head. "Come, you grut-faced little pune, if I may say so without giving offense. Here is an opportunity to test that pea-sized brain of yours. Before you are 3 coffins. They are numbered 1, 2, and 3. In case you can count them. Now, you crust-eyed, ugly, groveling worm." This creep is really rude. It will be a pleasure to hack him into stuck cubes when you finally meet up face to face. Your problem is to find the lady, or in this case, find the lady vampire. 2 of the coffins are empty, and thus the doors they guard may be opened safely. The 3rd contains Draculina, as nasty a piece of work as ever drained a jugular. In order to assist you, let me give you this clue. The coffin in which Draculina rests is numbered with the 1st digit of her age, which is half that of her brother Dracula, who is himself 25 times double the age of their cousin, Baby Fang, who has won last birthday. Choose wisely, Birdbrain. Okay. So Baby Fang is 1 year old. Dracula is 25. That's 25 times double the age. Okay, so he is 50. And she's half of Dracula. That means 25. So the 1st digit is 2. Coffin number 2. As you move towards the door, the coffin lid abruptly crashes open to reveal. Yeah, well, did we want to kill the vampire? Don't have any wooden stake that was in the previous book. Well, I think the better door is the one with the vampire anyway. As you move towards the door, the coffin lid abruptly crashes open to reveal a slim, pale, very beautiful lady with straight black hair, a low-cut gown, and high teeth that reach halfway down to her ankles. "Kissy kissy," she says teasingly. "This is Draculina for sure, and you're going to have to get past her if you want to open that door or just survive come that." Draculina has 40 life points. It's on 4 and drains your life points in the most peculiar manner. Once she manages to hit successfully, you will lose 3 life points for every combat round, additional to dice damage, including those rounds when you strike back and those rounds when she misses you altogether. Ew, that's quite something. Let's try a friendly reaction first. Impossible. So that means a fight. Initiative. For the initiative roll. It goes first. Okay, let's make it count. 40 life points. Should we cast a spell since we're full? Not sure it's worth it yet. But if she hits, she roll 3 life points. Yeah, it's only a simple dot. It was worded strangely, but 3 life points per round. Yeah, I think we can do that. Start with a hit. 9 damage. Still have the dragon skin jacket. Anyway. 7, that's a hit, so 4 plus 3, 7 minus 5, 2 damage. However, we're losing 3 each round. Pip next, a big hit, for 11. Draculina Huntress hit for 5. Dragon Skin Jacket takes the brunt of the damage. Miss for Pip. Hit for Draculina, that's 5 again. Dragon Skin Jacket. Oh, we don't have the Dragon Skin Jacket. Yeah, we could only make one at the end of the game. Yeah, I recall that. Pip hits for 7 damage. That's 8 for Draculina. Oh yeah, and we attacked 3 times in between. Oh. It's like losing 6 life points per turn. Pip hits for 9 damage, not enough. Seven, that's 7 plus 3, 10. Victory for Pip, but we're losing 3 life points again in the victory before killing Draculina. So now we can open the door we want. Good grief, it's a garlic store. No wonder Draculina was so anxious to prevent your coming in here. Strings of garlic onions hang down from the rafters to form a sort of garlic bead curtain, which makes it next to impossible to see very far into the room. Not that that worries you, of course, since with so much garlic about, the chances of being attacked by a vampire are precisely zilch. Which is more than you can say for your chances of being attacked by a werewolf. The creature is leaping for your throat before you can say Jack Robinson, although why you would want to say that is a mystery. The werewolf. Another fight. Has 25 life points. Fangs for +3 damage and absorbs -2 on any damage scored against it unless you happen to be fighting with a silver sword. We can use the silver sword, but we're losing 5 damage in the process, which is not useful at all. Let's try for friendly reaction first. Success. Friendly werewolf. You're not out of the woods yet, Pip. The body of the wolf is changing, elongating, twisting, shuddering and distorting until it changes into a rather airy and very squat tug of a man who launches himself upon you, growling furiously. This refugee from a B-movie also has 25 life points. Thanks for +3 damage and absorbs the same thing as the werewolf. Quite weird. So let's try a friendly reaction. Success. A friendly B-movie refugee. All the asshole with the werewolf has hacked down quite a few of those strings of garlic onions that were hanging down all over the place, allowing you to see a most curious artifact lying among the bits of werewolf strewn over the floor. That artifact is a beautifully made golden replica of a garlic clove, which, needless to say, you promptly add to whatever a small accumulation of booty you have already managed to loot. Sure, it will be useful. With the HP that we have right now, we're going to die soon. Golden garlic clove. You can also now see an exit door in the north wall of this chamber. If you don't want to go there, you can always backtrack to the fork, but we tried both directions in the fork, so let's go there. You have entered a metal-lined room with no visible exit. On the northern wall is a lever, above which is a neatly engraved notice stating, "Pull." You hesitate. On occasions before, when you have pulled a lever like that, the floor has given way or the ceiling has fallen in. You examine the floor carefully, but it is as solid as rock. You reach up with EJ to prod the ceiling, but so far as you can tell, it is perfectly sound. You look back at the lever. If you decide to pull it, you can find out what happens. Or if you don't, you can backtrack. Yeah, well, we can't really backtrack, so there we go. You are momentarily blinded by a sudden flash of light, but when you blink things back into focus, you are still in the same metal-lined room. Or are you? Better go to find out. Find yourself in a rectangular room which seems to have been lined floor, walls and ceiling with some type of blue metal sheeting. An open corridor runs west, while a closed door is set in the middle of the east wall. We came here before. Maybe not. An open corridor runs west, while a closed door is set in the middle of the east wall. The western corridor, or we can take the door in the east wall, or search for secret doors, even if it's not a section referenced in the secret door table. But well, the option is there. I'm sure that we came here before. Ah, yeah, we came here before. Damn it. Ah. Got teleported to the beginning of the book. Again. That sucks so much. Okay, let's backtrack all the sections and go somewhere that we didn't go before. Instead of pulling the lever, northwest or east, but we tried both of them. Can try a different door, however, in the vampire, or rather the coffin's room. If we try coffin 1. As you move towards the door, the coffin lid abruptly crashes open to reveal nothing, an empty coffin, which allows you to open the door safely and enter the chamber. As you open the door, there is a brief flash, which blinds you temporarily, and you stagger forward, rubbing your eyes, and you're back to the beginning. F you, says the book. Okay, let's go back again. And try the coffin number 3. It leads to the same section as before. All the doors teleport back to the beginning of the book. Okay, we need to go back further. Did we go? Yeah, we did go toward the north wall. We tried northwest, northeast. So we need to go back further again. That's the werewolf, or rather the B-movie dude. The werewolf, Draculina. That's the one with the coffin and the key. The one where we die. That's the thing with the rope. Can backtrack there. The fireball thing. Need to go further before that. There was the dice roll. And we had the different options with the statue and the golden key. So we can go either south or west. I'm going to write down both sections to come back here quicker. But let's try south first. With a slight grinding noise, a section of the southern wall slides back to reveal a wide stone flagged passageway leading southwards. You step forward into the passage and the section of the wall slides back, effectively blocking your retreat. With a fatalistic shrug, you loosen EJ in his scabbard ready for action and begin to move off north. South? They copy-paste. They copy-pasted the section of the north wall and forgot to change north or south. Move up south, not north, to meet your destiny. We need to roll 2 dice again. So stupid. 7 or more. Oh. Good grief. A bolt of lightning crackles down the corridor towards you, and there may be more where that came from. Throw 2 dice to determine how many bolts are headed in your direction. 12! Any throw above 10 counts as only one, since as you will instantly recognize these are magical fire finger lightning bolts. Oh, nice! For each bolt, deduct 10 from your... Hey, we're dead! Yay! Oh, it goes so well. Okay, let's throw a new life points, remove the useless garlic. Oh, that's such a bad roll. 32 plus 2, that's 34. And we go back again to the beginning, come back here. Let's throw 2 dice again. Ah, that's stupid. Let's remove the 10 life points here and continue to the next. What? Good grief, a bolt of lightning crackles down the corridor towards you. You have no chance to jump aside, but just as the bolt arcs towards your chest, it fizzles slightly and drops with a limp plop to the floor. So someone didn't cast the spell effectively. Interesting. But right now you have another problem altogether. You have reached a fork where a southwestern corridor branches and a southeastern. Try southeast. Ever have one of those days when absolutely nothing goes right, Pip? Yeah, it is one. It's quite accurate. Coming down the corridor towards you is a group of wandering vampires. Throw 1 die to discover how many are in the group. 1. Each one has 20 life points, but each one, or rather the one, might be friendly. It is. Can go on. The clove of golden garlic was useful here to make the vampire tea. In the movies, when you kill a vampire, it crumbles into dust, leaving nothing but a huge signet ring. In its place, it just lies there, cluttering up the floor. The whole place is littered with vampire corpses at the moment, sprawled untidily and twitching so that... Twitching? You killed those vampires stone cold dead. Not a life point left between them. So what's this about twitching? One of the vampires isn't just twitching, it's staggering to his feet and turning towards you. If you run like mad right now, you'll find yourself back from where you came. If you're prepared to face this undead, which has already survived your best efforts once, you have my blessing. Have at you, gruesome creature of the darkling night side, hideous denizen of crypts and tombs, foul distortion of... You stop in amazement. The vampire, which was staggering towards you with hunger in its eyes, is toppling down again to crumble into dust, leaving only a massive signet ring. That last effort must have been its dying gasp. Its undying gasp? Ever hungry for booty, you swiftly swoop down on the ring, which, large though it is, it's just about right for the third finger of your left hand. Wonder if they count the thumb. Signet ring. Or how long will it last in our inventory? and has the curious property of temporarily turning you into a bat when rubbed 3 times. Rubbing the ring takes up 1 combat round in a fight, but once done it means any opponent requires to throw 7 or better to hit you for the remainder of the combat. Huh. 1 turn. Opponent to hit 7+ for combat. It also means you won't be able to use EJ, but you can bite successfully on 4 and draw blood. At +4 damage, which is nearly as good. Now better steer yourself before any more of those vampires start to twitch. And continue on your merry way. The corridor continues southeast for nearly 150 yards, during which you notice the sidewalls are gradually turning red. For danger? Well, maybe. You take time to examine them, wondering vaguely if they are glowing red hot or anything nasty like that, but a closer look reveals nothing more intimidating than a peculiar graduated paint job, presumably done to tone and tastefully with the bright red door with which the corridor ends. You stop momentarily nonplussed and stand looking at the red door on which is prominently displayed a large notice. Rot's private quarters. Keep out if you value your life, and there's a code. Let's resolve that code. The code means only part of this notice is true. I guess that the part that is true is that we're going to die. Brett's private quarters, eh? Just the place you've been looking for, if you can trust this notice. But whether you can or can't, you're at liberty to try the door. Or we can go back and take the other branch. I'm sure it's not Grut's private quarters. Yeah, better keep out, not toward the asshole. We can go back then and take the other corridor. Passageway runs southwest for less than 30 feet before you notice something odd. A slab of red sandstone has been set into the floor of the corridor immediately ahead. The slab itself is wide enough to stretch the width of the corridor, so that had you not noticed it, you would certainly have walked over it. Fortunately, you can, if you wish, jump over the slab fairly easily. But do you want to? You can jump across the slab or walk on it. Huh. I'm sure it's the place where we can have 2 traps. Like, both options are bad. Well, let's go right through. I'm sure jumping over is bad anyway, as well. Yipes, you've fallen down a pit. The sandstone slab was on some sort of pivot, so that when you stepped on it, down you went, losing 10 life points. From the awkward landing to add injury to insult. If you're not dead, you might be interested in investigating that trapdoor in the bottom of the pit or climbing out and continuing on your way. Yeah, sure. This is not the easiest trapdoor in the world to open, Pip. In fact, you're going to have to roll dice to do it. Or not. As the case may be, roll 1 right now to represent your strength. Remember the result. Okay. We have fake stats. Oh, 1. Ha! Yeah, well, let's ignore that shit with fake stats and random luck and blah blah blah. That's done it. With one bulge of your mighty muscles, the trapdoor was ripped bodily off its hinges and flung uselessly aside to splinter against the walls of the pit. You lean over and peer down. You're looking into a pit beneath the pit into which you have fallen. There are no steps or ladders, but the floor of this second pit is no more than 10 feet below you. So you could drop down without too much danger of anything more serious than a couple of broken legs and several cracked ribs. Just laying on the floor is a small wooden casket, temptingly open. On a velvet cushion inside is a single massive pearl, glowing softly with a bluish light. There is absolutely nothing to stop you leaping nimbly into the second pit and snatching the pearl. Unless you count the rats, of course. The bottom of the second pit is swarming with them. Well, we do have a rope. We can use it to lasso the casket. I hope it's something that works in real life. Throw 1 die, score 5 or 6, and you have lassoed the casket. Nope. Score anything less and you topple over into the pit and the rats. Well, we're down anyway. The rats scream and flee in all directions. How long is it since you've had a bath? Leaving you only to determine if you've hurt yourself in your leap. Roll 2 dice. Score 6 or more and deduct double your score from your current life points. They hate me so much in this game. That's 14. Right on target. And we're dead again. Goodbye the signet ring. That's why we can't have anything nice. Seriously. New roll for life points. 7, 8, 7, 8. So low again. 34, same thing. We lose 10. Take the path of the lightning bolt. And we go through all the same assholes again. Your hand closes on the pearl, and at once a magnificent sensation of well-being floods your sturdy frame, as well it might, since the pearl is instantly restored any life points. Okay. Might happen to be missing at this juncture, and it will do the trick twice more before its powers runs out. Now stow away this nice bit of feeling booty. Thing that might be useful. We can climb back and continue our merry way in the passageway. Passageway you have been following ends in a stout wooden door which stands slightly ajar, as most doors do in tombs since the majority of their inhabitants aren't going anywhere. You push it further open and peer into a low-ceilinged chamber with no indication of an exit. The smell tells you at once there is a troll in here, even before you spot the creature itself seated on a metal-bound wooden chest, cleaning its rotten nails with a crystal dagger. The last time you saw a crystal dagger of that sort was on an island near Greece, and the poetic fiend was using it to kill things with a single blow. If you're prepared to risk being killed with a single blow, you may fight the troll, but since the brood isn't attacking, you have the alternative option of backtracking in directions that we explored before. Troll might be friendly, we never know. Yee-hi! You cry, leaping into the room dramatically in your best samurai manner, flashing EJ above your head so violently that the poor old thing is quite seasick. Your doom is upon you, troll! Which may be or may not. The troll shouldn't prove all that difficult to knacker, having only 12 life points. He does, however, strike successfully on 6 or better, and while he's too puny to cause any additional damage, he doesn't really have to, since one successful strike with that crystal dagger will be quite enough to kill you outright. Which will negate the pearl that we have. Okay, friendly reaction. It's a success. Look at those gems. There must be 2,347 gold pieces worth in here, at a very rough guess. Emeralds, rubies, sapphires, diamonds, none of them very big admittedly, but what do you expect for slaughtering a puny little troll? And then of course there's that little crystal knife the troll was trying to do you mischief with, if you elect to use that instead of EJ at any time. Hey, just a minute, EJ mumbles, mind eavesdropping again and picking up thoughts he doesn't like at all. Then you will have to throw a 6 to strike, but once you get to your roll, you will kill your opponent stone dead with that one single blow. Bad news is that the crystal knife will shatter on impact, so it's only good for one kill. Might be useful. Pack away your booty and continue the way you were going. The corridor, which has been running southwest, now turns due south before entering a large open chamber without discernible exits, in the center of which stands a huge crystalline cube. A curious humming noise fills the air as you step into the chamber. A humming which increases in intensity as you approach the cube and decreases as you move away from it. Cautiously, you circle this odd artifact, actually wondering if it might be a giant die, but it isn't, and discover that on the southern face, deeply inscribed into the crystalline surface, is the number 90. Even more cautiously, you take another step closer, and as the humming increases, you suddenly discover where it is coming from. Rising from the top of the crystal cube is a near-transparent swarm of crystal bees. They do not attack, but instead engage in some very fancy flying to form a word in mid-air. The word is halt. You halt, not out of any urge towards obedience, but rather to consider your options. These appear to be limited by the fact that if you want to get any closer to that crystal cube, you will probably have to fight the crystal bees. Apart from this, The only other course seems to be to retrace your steps all the way to the fork where you came from. Well, let's attack the bees, I guess. Eagerly, you step across the prostrate corpse to get a closer look. Nope. You step forward bravely. Wrong section. The bees break formation, mill around a bit, and reform into the face of a very crabby-fanged school teacher. If, however, you happen to have a crystal bee training kit, nope, on your person, you can safely ignore this threat, and any other the bees might make. But if not, you're going to have to fight in a very peculiar way. First, roll 2 dice and double the result. That's 12. To determine how many bees will actually attack you, each attacker will definitely sting you. No need to roll dice, but only once. Each sting will cost you 2 life points. It means 24. If you survive, the remaining bees won't hassle you while you examine the crystal cube. Cautiously, you approach the crystal cube, which sparkles slightly. It changes color depending on what angle you look at it. You reach out to tap one of its surfaces gently. Zap! Without the slightest warning or sensation, you find yourself in a familiar chamber, granite flagged and walled, with a ceiling comprising massive interlocked slabs of granite. In the center is the life-size statue of Grot the Huddle. We're back to the beginning of that section. Was there another passageway that we missed there? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we went all the way. So we can try the other direction, which was there. Kersplank. You've got a dart on the end of your nose. You pull it out and look at it. It looks exactly like the sort of dart that's generated by a PAD spell. PAD? Ah, 10 damage range. And causes the same damage. Thank you, Pearl. We can continue. An interesting development. Since there is no sign whatsoever of anyone ahead, we might have been responsible for throwing the dart. In fact, all you can see ahead is a fork, with corridors branching northwest and southwest. The corridor runs northwest for a distance before turning west. At the corner lounges a lizard, a curious creature which seems well able to stand on its hind legs and wear a morning suit and bowler hat. As it catches sight of you, it steps forward with one hand, paw upraised. Halt, calls the lounge lizard with a slightly sibilant inflection. It is absolutely forbidden, not to say quite impossible, to pass beyond this point without first surrendering something of very substantial value. Namely, he pauses dramatically, then concludes, the vampire's ring. He smiles, showing crocodile teeth, and extends the upraised hand, or paw, towards you. We have a vampire's ring. Well, we had one before. And if so, are you going to hand it over meekly to the lounge lizard? Or will you prefer to retrace your steps? Or try the other pad in the fork? Or are you going to splatter this overgrown iguana all over the walls? Yeah, let's splatter the iguana. The overgrown iguana has a frightening 40 life points. Damn. Bites on 4 and does +3 with those crocodile teeth. Well, friendly reaction time. It can be friendly. Okay, that will be quite a hard fight there. I think it's worth a fireball. For the initiative, the iguana goes first. And misses. Well, do we fireball the shit out of it? Nah. Doesn't seem so bad. That's it for Pip. 9 damage. Iguana. 6 damage. Pip hits for 8. Seven for the iguana. Oh, nice hit. 11 damage. Nice hit for the iguana as well. 8. Close, it's close, but I think Pip will be the victory here. 9, that's 11 damage again, damn short 1. And the iguana misses. That's the end of the line for it, I guess. Yep, it's dead. Stepping over the late lizard, you turn the corner to find yourself facing twin pillars, between which arcs of lightning block the passage completely. Maybe you should have chatted up that lizard before knackering him, but you're stuck with the situation now, which can be resolved only by risking a step between those pillars, or going back. Might be a teleport of some kind. And I don't want to be teleported back, so let's go back. Go back to the statue, but there's the way that we didn't check, I think. Yeah, there's another branch. Corridor runs northwest for no more than 50 feet before ending abruptly in the most remarkable and disturbing device you have ever seen. A cage door of iron bars blocks your way forward. Not possibly that you will be all that keen to go forward in any case, since beyond the bars you can quite clearly see a nightmare creature, somewhat resembling an airy octopus, with poison fangs and horn-rimmed spectacles. To one side, the right, if you want to be strictly accurate, before you reach the bars is a gleaming metal box with no fewer than 17 levers poking out of it. no fewer below which is a bank of buttons, and below which again is a series of wildly flashing lights. Squatting beside this contraption is an elderly punk nerd, a species not uncommon in tombs, tastefully dressed in a studded leather jacket, black watch tartan, ankle-length kilt, and banana boots. "Hello," he says, grinning and wiping his nose with the back of his hand. "Got your toll money ready?" "Toll money? This sounds ominous." "Stand aside, punk nerd," you exclaim grandly, "for I am Pip the Adventurer Bold, known as Dragon Slayer, Wizard Basher, Realm Saver, and sundry other titles, and if I wish to pass, no creepy weirdo in yellow wellies is about to stop me." "Bravely said," remarks the punk nerd, not at all put out. "But I won't be the one to stop you. Unless you have a hellfire halfpenny to put in the slot, this machine won't work. And if the machine don't work, nothing raises the bars on Fido's cage. And until the bars go up, there's no way through, mark you." He adds thoughtfully, "Even when the bars are up, you still have the problem of Fido." The hairy octopus stings jump up and down, a little in excited agreement. "What are you going to do about this then? There's certainly a coin slot visible in the metal box, and if you happen to have a hellfire halfpenny, you might like to try inserting it. Of course, the punk nerd might be bluffing, in which case you could try pulling a few levers, testing the bars, or attacking the nerd. Well, maybe the nerd has the famous penny." You leap forward aggressively, and the punk nerd falls down on his back with shock. "I surrender!" he screams. "Don't kill me! I surrender! I give in! I give up! I'll sign the confession! Take all my money!" A little disappointed, you put up your sword. That was a bit of an anticlimax. But what are you going to do now? You still have the bars and the slot machine and the hairy octopus thing. You decide to take the punk nerd's money. Alternatively, we don't have a halfpenny. The nerd is carrying 37/6 in old money. Oh, whoa, is it a pence or... Probably stolen from a museum and worth about 5 gold pieces from a generous pawnbroker. Sifting through the copper shows he does not have a hellfire halfpenny or any other coin of much interest. You are about to salt away the remainder when some instinct tells you to examine the silver coinage. Among the usual sorry collection of tanners, bobs, and florin, you catch sight of a tiny coin you've never seen before. "What's that?" you ask the punk nerd suspiciously. "It's a silver threepenny bit," he tells you anxiously. "Magic, of course. It's under no circumstances should you bite it." "Why? What does it do?" "I don't know. I've never bitten it." "Interesting. However, you still have the bars and the slot machine and blah 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 blah." Well, where we are right now, we can just bid on the not the halfpenny, but the threepenny. Oh yeah, it sends us back to the beginning again. Well, we can go back to the place with the bees because there's a secret passage there. And I don't see where this nerd thing is going to be useful. So the secret door at the bees. This is a small, cupboard-like chamber, empty except for a small casket which contains a tiny chair, an equally tiny whip, along with a piece of parchment which is bigger than the two of them put together. The parchment is headed. Crystal Bee training system. Oh. Underneath are instructions for using the chair and whip to train crystal bees to do tricks, like attacking an enemy or leaving you alone. Well, here's the training system for the bees. The crystal thing doesn't help either. We can go back to the nerd and just pull levers and see how it goes. You can put nerd money in the slot machine, it says, though. No luck, it won't fit. In fact, you're very lucky you didn't jam it up completely. Which means might be the correct path to get to the end of the book, though. We can try pulling a few levers or testing the bars. Not sure that the bars will do much. The only option left is pulling different levers. Press a lever and pull. Nothing happens. You grasp another and pull. A firefinger lightning bolt zips from the lever into your hand, deftly removing 10 of your yeah, right. Don't pull any more levers, warns the punk nerd. We're not dead, but continue pull levers. We can try. Yeah, I guess we're going to use the pearl before, though. I'm not sure it will help. What are the other options? Pulling more levers, testing the bars, attacking the nerd. We already did that. There doesn't seem to be any option. We don't have the Hellfire Elf Penny. Thing is, there's no other corridor left to explore. If we go back to the statue, we try north, south, and the west. Can move the statue without the key. Not sure if it's useful though. I don't see how it won't end badly. There was no option, no more option north, neither south and west. Nope. I guess we'll have to track back all the different options. Okay. Gives 3 options: north, south, west. We go north. Here's the dice roll, forget that. The fireball trap. There's the fork. northwest, and northeast. The northwest is the coffin. With Draculina. The first coffin was empty, led to a door that sent to the beginning. Coffin number 3 was the same thing. Yep, led to the beginning as well. Coffin number 2 was Draculina. Which lead to the garlic store. And the werewolf that we kill. And the B-movie refugee. We killed as well. And then it gave 3 exits. North, northwest, and northeast. Which share the same options when we took the north passage, except for the north option. This one was the metal room with the lever at the back. And he gave the same branches that we could go back afterward. But the lever is a teleport to the beginning as well. Yep. Which means that we can only take the northeast option instead of the northwest. The northeast leads to the sandstone trap. Which we can jump, climb down. Was it the sandstone trap? Oh, it was the shaft. You can jump in the shaft or climb down the shaft. And jumping down the shaft is most probably dead. Oh, not exactly. We can float. Oh, there's something there that we didn't do because it was hidden behind the random dice roll again. Okay, let's skip the dice roll. But one leads to there. Stone the crows, to use a quaint old Avalonian expression. You're floating, levitating to be more precise, zipping upwards like a rocket, or more accurately, a hot air balloon heading for clunk. That was the sound of your your poor old noddle striking the top of the levitation shaft and losing a full 10 life points. Well, that means that we're using the pearl again. And we have no more pearl. And we can go somewhere else that we didn't go to before. You step out of the shaft into blinding sunlight. You blink a few times until your eyes become accustomed to the light, then look around you. You are standing by the side of a winding road, which will, if you take it, will lead you somewhere else different. If you have any uses of your pill spell left, we have all our uses for the levitate spell. And when you go back down the shaft, you can leap into the shaft, cast the spell, and go back. But we go back to a different section. Well, it might be useful later on. I think we should go on with the winding path right now, since it's something quite new. Wait, that's the beginning of the tomb at the outside. Okay. It's not a good idea. The other options then, using the pill spell or jumping in the shaft without casting the spell and dying, I guess. We should cast the spell. Nice move, Pip. You float down light as a feather until you reach the very bottom of the shaft, which proves to be a totally uninteresting place, but for the bones of previous adventurers who have come down here the hard way. With no other way out, you use the remaining energy of your build spell to levitate back up to the level you were at before you transported to the top. So we can take the road at the top, backtrack out, because it's a dead end leading nowhere again. And if we climb down the shaft, we could jump down the rope, which was death again, or backtrack and try a different direction. Yeah, there was the fireball and all the shit. That's a dead end again. That there's no option in the north path. Now in the south path. There was the trap, the lightning bolt, then there were two branches, southwest and southeast. And there's the sandstone slab trap. Could jump the slab. Say jump the trap. Or walk the trap. Previously we walked the trap. So there was the trap. And there was the trapdoor at the bottom, or climbing out. Trapdoor was a strength roll with the strength, fake strength stat. And we could go down. Or lasso the cascade, whatever which one we took, it goes down anyway. And that's where we got the pearl. With the only option of climbing out afterwards. And when we climbed out, there was the troll at the end. Or we could go back and take one of the first two options. We killed the troll, looted the chest. Then we ran into the crystal bees. There was the secret door, which gave the training kit. And then we could explore the room with the crystal cube. And that one sent back to the statue at the beginning. But, oh, that's why it was written 90 on the cube. Ah, makes sense. If there's nothing else with the bees. We could jump the trap. I don't remember if we tried going there and jump the trap. It leads to the same place anyway, yeah. So it's going around there because we climbed up and kind of jumped the trap by climbing up. That's for the southwest path. Now for the southeast path. There was a wandering vampire, yeah. He came back up, but he died in the end. And we continued our way. Then the Grot's private quarters. Which are not Grot's private quarters. But we went back, so I can try going in. Okay, let's try the Grot's private quarters, just in case. This isn't Grot's private quarters? Yeah, figure. This isn't anybody's private quarters. In fact, it's not even quarters. There's no room of any sort behind the door. Just a red-painted corridor which continues the way you were going. No different from... Well, just a little different from the corridor you have been traveling. This one has a highly polished floor. A very highly polished floor. Which is tilting. Your feet slip from under you. The corridor tilts further. Desperately you fight to retain your balance. You're beginning to slide forward down the corridor. Visions of monstrous maws or lava-filled pits crowd your mind. You hurl yourself backwards, hoping against hope to reach the door again. But will you succeed? Throw to die, blah blah blah. Let's skip that ducting shit. Yeah, if we roll badly, we continue to slide and exit the chamber at the beginning of the book. If not, we succeed into going back to a previous section. Yep, which is yeah, the same at the beginning is southwest and southeast. That's it for the southeast branch. Leave only the west here. Here was the trap and two branch, just like the others. Northwest, southwest. And the cage with the Hellfire Elf penny that we don't have. That I don't know where it is. I'm sure that's the missing piece of the puzzle there. And the other corridor, the lizard. What would that have happened if we add the signet ring? Does it give the Hellfire Alpini? There are a lot of paths afterwards, though. Not sure it leads somewhere interesting. But we're missing items. Well, the lizard, blah blah blah. Actually, we had a vampire ring, but lost it because we died. So that's why we killed the lizard. And stepping between the pillars led to death. Which means, can we break the game in this book? If we don't have the vampire signet ring. Let's say that we add it. See how it goes there, if it's useful. So we give the vampire signet ring to the lunge lizard. What does it say? Okay, let's go with that. The lunge lizard places the ring between his teeth in the manner of one testing a coin, but obviously does not know his own strength since he immediately scrunches it into powder. Here, you protest. That was a very valuable ring. Oh, true, agrees the lizard. But I'm doing you a favor in destroying it. I don't see how, mutters... it was EJ. I don't see how, mutters EJ, who has been listening. I don't see how, you remark glumly, and a little annoyed that EJ said it first, since it now sounds as though you were copying him. You will when you look around the corner, the lizard tells you cheerfully. He gestures and you peer past him around the corner. Only a few steps further on, two silver pillars flank the sides of the corridor. Between them arcs a sort of miniature lightning flash, which climbs up and down the pillars with great crackling sounds and a distinct smell of ozone. It looks exactly like those gizmos the mad scientist uses to animate Frankenstein's monster. What is it? You whisper, breathlessly. It's one of those gizmos mad scientists used to animate Frankenstein's monster, the lizard tells you. It reacts with vampire ring magic. If you'd walked between those pillars carrying the ring, you'd have been snuffed out for sure. So that's why we die with the pillars, but we didn't have the ring. Makes no sense. The book should have given the option before walking to the pillars after killing the lizard. And not assuming that we had the ring and didn't give him the ring, so that's fucked up. What if I walk between them now without a ring? Good question, nods the lizard, without, however, attempting to supply a good answer. But if you want to go on, it seems you're going to have to walk between them. And it's a different section than the one where we die. At I, you step between the pillars, which promptly zaps back any life points you happen to be missing at this juncture. Damn. The free pearl. Beyond them, the corridor runs straight for about 50 yards before ending in a heavy metal door with no sign of either lock or handle. You approach the door cautiously, having no desire to be zapped at this late stage of the adventure, but nothing leaps out to leech your life points. Unfortunately, the door doesn't open either. Careful examination shows a curious indentation in the metal at about shoulder height. An indentation which features a 6-pointed star and will just accept a pewter medallion. Something that we don't have either. If you happen to be carrying a pewter medallion, you can place it there. If not, your only option is make your way back to the statue chamber at the beginning. So we're missing 2 critical items. But I have no idea where we can find it. Did we lose 1 by dying and we shouldn't have lost 1? That will conclude the west section there. We're missing either the Hellfire Halfpenny or the pewter medallion. I think I'll have to take a look on the internet. Make sure I didn't miss anything there. GrailQuest 7, pewter medallion. The pewter medallion should be in a secret door. Did I miss the secret door check? Don't see any missed secret door. We did that one as well. No, that wasn't the secret door. Okay, fine. But how do we go there though? Section on the internet told pewter medallion there, but oh yeah, there's seriously it wasn't the spear trap, but the book never said that we could take this. You step through to find yourself in a metal-lined room with a single lever in the far wall hanging from which is a pewter medallion with a 6-pointed star. Examination convinces you it's not about to open again. You move forward to the lever, remove the medallion. Oh damn, it was so written sneakily in the middle of the text. We have the medallion since the beginning. What did it cost simply to write a single sentence in italics saying write down the medallion? It's an important item. not sure we have the Hellfire Half Penny though. I don't recall having read about that. So we can go actually towards the side with the pewter medallion. Okay. Oh, you're looking into a terribly familiar metal-lined chamber. This thing may teleport you. Every other metal-lined chamber seems to. Indeed. If you want to risk ending up back ways, you may step into the room. Well, there aren't any other option. Is this? It is the teleport. What a whiz. After coming all this way, it's brought you right back to 20... No, it hasn't. This is never the beginning of the book again. You've ended up in another corridor running north-south, except that south, directly behind you, is blocked a dead end. It's a corridor that seems a little different from the others you've been in. Well, a lot different, actually. It's far wider, for one thing, and far higher and even colder. Your footsteps echo as you walk along the corridor, a small, lone figure with only one way to go and only your courage for comfort and companionship. Here, what about me? Mutters EJ sorely. And your faithful talking sword, of course. The corridor runs northwards for more than 100 yards before reaching a wide flight of stone steps running downwards onto a broad platform, to one side of which is a tiny wooden door. But it is not the door which occupies your attention. At the bottom of the steps, rising from an ebony coffin, is a creature such as you have never ever seen before. A golden-skinned vampire, almost 7 feet tall. It stares up the steps and smiles, then, with spider-like agility, scuttles upwards in your direction. The corridor behind you leads nowhere. Your options are simple. Face the golden vampire, or die. Well, better dying than be stuck, right? Facing the golden vampire is a bit more complicated if you happen to be carrying any golden garlic. We had that before we died, and so far we died so many times, and the game presumed that we keep all the items that we take, even if it says that we lose all of them. So let's say that we still have the golden garlic. As the golden vampire skitters up the steps, hissing slightly, you whip out the golden garlic and hold it before you, very much as the hero does coming up to the end of the Dracula movie when the Count, but never mind that, time is running out. The golden vampire stops. Die, foul golden fiend incarnate, you scream excitedly, fairly sure the golden garlic will wither his carnations. Although, to be absolutely honest, there is no sign yet of his shriveling up into gold dust or even backing off. In fact, he's still coming forward, more slowly, admittedly, but towards you all the same. Let me at him, hisses EJ, obviously in one of his savage moods. You prepare to drop the stupid garlic and swing EJ. The golden vampire stops, eyes glazed. He begins to sway slightly, like one entranced. Your wish is my command, O mighty one, he intones slowly. Holy cow, you've hypnotized him. What a break. Now you can order this joker to fight for you when you meet up with the Lich or any other nasty. How many life points have you got, vampire baby? You ask cheekily. None, says the golden vampire hollowly. Alright. How many death points then, if you want to be pedantic? 50, says the golden vampire. And will you fight for me if I tell you to? Your wish is my command, O mighty one. Which is about where you came in, apart from having 50 life or death points. The golden vampire fangs successfully on 4. There's a word missing there. The golden vampire fangs hit successfully on 4. Add +3 damage and will rip the jugular out of anything that moves on a throw of 12, killing it instantly. Oh. That's quite nice. I guess let's add the vampire in the long list of useless items. And we have a vampire with insta-kill and the crystal knife. Since it's now completely hypnotized and in your power, O Mighty One, you can take this lethal brute with you. You scrunch down to open the little door. It feels stiff as if it hadn't been used for centuries, but presents no real problem. As it swings back, you can see with some disappointment that it leads to a simple chamber, empty except for a dried-up ancient skull thrown casually in one corner. You step through and straighten up, looking around you and discovering there are no exits from this room. It's a simple antechamber of some sort, perhaps used for burial, although there doesn't seem to be any bones to go with that skull. Frowning, you turn to leave again. The small door through which you entered has swung shut. You try to open it and discover, to your surprise, it has jammed. Give it a good tug, EJ advises unnecessarily. You give it a good tug, and the door does not budge. Pip! Shut up, EJ, you tell him, crossly annoyed at the silly door. You tug again, more sharply this time. Pip! Will you please shut up? Can't you see I'm busy trying to get this stupid door? Pip! Oh, what is it, EJ? Can't you? You turn, and your blood runs cold. The skull lying in the corner has risen up and is now floating in midair, staring at you with empty yet faintly bloodshot eye sockets. You could do without this, Pip. That skull is pretty puny in terms of life points, having only 18 of them altogether. Where we were at there, instead of the vampire. Skull, I guess. But it has an endless collection of fire finger lightning bolts magically implanted in that empty cranium, ready to discharge through each eye socket alternatively. As you know, fire fingers always hit whatever the dice roll and always do 10 points of damage. Better roll for first strike now and just make sure to slaughter this nasty fast. Well, friendly reaction first. Impossible. No friends there. Oh, that's bad. So that means I'm losing 10 life points per round. Sounds like this. Well, let's see initiative how it goes. And actually we have the golden vampire with us, so the guy will take the brunt instead of us first. Pip goes first, which means Pip and the vampire goes first. Eight, that's a hit for Pip. 10 damage. Oh, maybe Skull will die right away with the vampire on our side here. The vampire hits for 10 damage. And dead. Oh, nice. No fire finger lightning bolts. And level up. One more permanent life point. You stare down, shaking slightly at the shattered fragments of the ghastly skull, noting with professional interest that it was animated by means of a magical scroll, which has now fallen on the floor. Curiously, you pick it up and read it. On one side is the animation spell, similar in many respects to the one Merlin used to give EJ his powers of speech. Rubbish, mutters EJ. While on the other is a cryptic message. The wise adventurers will decode brackets first. That's a very, very long code. Let's look it up. It says 69v5. Yeah, here it is. The wall, the secret door leading to 2 or 4. No, the bracket says 5 displaced. Read backwards after decoding. Okay, the code is the wall, sector door, a secret door leading to 2 or 4. And 5 displaced. Let's see what it says after the code. The hassle with the ghastly skull seems to have perked you up a bit, since the jam door now opens easily. But there's a secret door there. Door leading to 2 or 4. A wall, a secret door leading to 2 or 4. What does it mean, 5 displaced? Leading to 2 or 4, 5 displaced. There are no section over 224. Red door, the wall leading to 2 or 4, 5 displaced. Unless it means section 245 over there, but that's the beginning of the book, makes no sense. So there's a code behind the code. There's an explanation to the code somewhere. The French version is more clear. Yeah, well, in the French version of the book, it says to go to 204, not 204. Maybe there was an error in translation of the code in the English note I found. Let's check out 204. seems to make sense. By George, that was unexpected. The whole west wall slid back to reveal a vast treasure room, 3/4 filled with a huge heap of gold and gems, a lifetime's collection which presumably includes the 50 gold pieces owed to Merlin, although that's probably a bit academic now. Scattered through the heap, you can clearly see precious artifacts of every size, shape, and description. Ivories from Africa, jade figurines from China, antique porcelain, trinkets, rare wood carvings, and so on. There is even a golden casket, heavily encrusted with diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds, worth a king's ransom in its own right, let alone what might be inside such an incredibly expensive container. "Truth!" exclaims EJ, although whether he is impressed by all the booty or just taken aback by what is guarding it is difficult to say, because here is a creature the like of which you have never seen, a sort of cross between a zombie and a vampire, or a vampire and a ghoul, or even a ghoul and a zombie. It looks as if it should have died 1,000 years ago, but didn't. "Get out!" it screams, dark eyes filled with hate. "I think we just found Grut the Huddled," EJ tells you unnecessarily. And indeed you have. Oh, that's the head boss, okay. What's more, you have also just met 2 of Grut's pet flying worms. Nasty little sharp-toothed creatures which attack first and ask questions afterwards, which is what they are doing now. Do we fight the things before Grut? Seems like it is the case. Grut's pet flying worms. So they have 15 life points each. Strikes on 6 and bites for +2 damage. Each is extremely difficult to hit, needing a 7 or better even when you use EJ. Does it affect the Golden Vampire though? They didn't think about that when writing the book. It's hard to tell. I guess it will make sense that the vampire has the same problem, since he doesn't fly and he has no ability to transform into a bat I've seen. Okay, anyway, friendly reaction times. They're both friendlies, but it seems kind of cheap to skip the end boss fight, so let's kill the flying worms anyway. Initiative roll. Pip wins the initiative. 5, that's 7 damage. And for the Golden Vampire. No. It's not it. We need to hit at 7 or better, so that's a miss. But the Vampire hits though with a 9. That's 6 damage on the first worm. There's something. Could use a pad, but I want to keep my 5 points for the big boss at the end. I guess we'll grit our teeth for now. First swim 9, it's a 6 to hit, so that sits for 6 damage on the vampire. Well, let's count them up to 50. Okay. And the second one, that's it as well, so he's at 9 damage. Yeah, I'll write this down somewhere. Here. Oh. Alright, next turn. Pip. That's it for real now. 9 damage. First worm is dead. And a vampire. That's it again. He's really pulling his weight there. For 7 damage. One worm left. That's quite a good hit. 8 damage on the vampire. Pip's turn. Solid hit. For 3, 5, 8. 8 damage. Right on. Okay, both worms are dead. If you're not dead, you're going to have to tackle Grot himself. Who has 25 life points. It's on 5. And scores +3 damage with his dirty fingernails. More disturbing yet, Grot has access to every spell in the first and second spell books and will certainly use any or all of them to make the fight interesting. And there was something about the rhyme there that I forgot because it was last week. And the section here doesn't mention anything about the rhyme. I should try to find the section with the poetic fiend. I don't remember. When it was. Poetic fiend. Yeah. Here's the rhyme. Having known the ISP will crash last week, I will have written the rule for the rhyme. For the final fight. Blah blah blah. Okay. Lethal replies the fiend unless you are able to recite a 4-line death ode when you might meet him. None of your magic will work and you will fight at -3. On any damage you might score against him, but it's not even written at the end section. So if we don't go through the poetic fiend, we don't know this, and we don't need, which means we don't need the rhyme, and it's a waste of time. Okay. Well, since it doesn't mention the rhyme, let's go as is. Grot has 25 life points and has access to all the spells, which means he can cast Fireball. And why wouldn't he cast Fireball? And why wouldn't I cast Fireball on this? Actually, I can use the Crystal Knife and simply kill the bastard. Depends on the initiative roll. In other words, it means that the one that wins the initiative is going to kill the other one, most presumably. Well, actually, he will kill my vampire. Let's check the initiative roll. Grot's got the initiative. He needs to roll 6, I think, to cast Fireball. Yeah, roll 6 on 2 dice. And he does, so the vampire is dead. With 75 damage, right off the bat. That means that Pip is alone on his turn. And that's it. Crystal Knife, bam. Grot is dead. Quite anticlimactic boss fight. But the number doesn't seem to be the last one. The number of this section. Eagerly you step across the prostrate corpse to get a closer look at that unbelievable hoard of gold and gems. Look out! Screams EJ. You spin around to find Grut has resurrected himself and is flinging himself upon you. Oh. Yeah, right. Does he still cast spell though? The resurrection gives Grut 25 more life points and allows him fighting abilities and spell usage as before. Damn. Well, the one that wins initiative roll wins the fight, I guess. I have nothing to prevent a fireball in the face. Unless maybe invisibility. Let's go read about the invisibility spell that I haven't used yet. Last time we used the invisibility spell was like in book number 3 or something like that. This very special spell may only be used once per adventure, the cost of 15 life points, and even then only in certain sections of the adventure. Yeah, it needs to be labeled as such, so we can't use invisibility in the fight there. It's a fireball duel. I don't see anything to go around that. I could cast Pierre Square though. But I need to win the initiative anyway. With PR squared. Oh, it's different as the one before. In the previous books it was 3 turns in a row, now it's 2 attacks on a single round for the combat. Can I cast him before the fight? Or no written rule that can cast before the fight? Well, let's see the initiative anyway, how it goes. Oh, Pip has the initiative. It would be a good idea to cast. I'll remove the vampire here. It would be a good idea to cast PR squared. I think we still can miss the spell though. Magic, result of the result. Need roll 7 on dice, yeah. Well, we need to roll 7 for PR squared or 6 for fireball, so we're better off rolling 6 on fireball. Oh, 5, damn. We couldn't kill him in one turn with only EJ anyway, so it's not a missed attack, but it's a missed spell. Probably that Grutz is going to kill us. Yup, 75 damage, dead. Unless he doesn't have fireball, but I don't see why he wouldn't. In the first and second Pip's combined spellbook. Oh wait, is fireball in the spellbook? Oh yeah, it is. It's there, not at the end. Well, that's quite a cheap-ass boss fight. We're kind of used to that in GrailQuest anyway. Well, kind of the end. Let's try the fight again, just to see how it will go. Grud has the initiative this time, so boom, dead. Ah, that's so cheap. Yeah. Well, per the house rule of if you die, we skip the fight. Let's skip the fight. It's not the last section anyway. Let's see how it goes. And let's reroll life points actually. Forget second die. Okay, 6. Not very good. 8. Still 32. Plus 3, 35. And we skip the fight. Next section. I don't believe this. Is getting up again. Looks like he had another resurrection spell up his sleeve. Or maybe you can kill a lich at all. Whatever the situation, he has another 25 life points. Okay. Threat number 3. And it's coming at you. One bright aspect of an otherwise gloomy situation is that his spell power seems to have run out. Well, he used up all his fireballs. Well, we still have ours though. So he's going to get some in the face. Initiative roll. Pips goes first. Is it vengeance time? Nope, misses. Got counters. He hits, I think. I don't remember his to it. They didn't think it was useful to write it down again. 5 and plus 3, okay. So that's it for 5 damage. Pip tries another fireball and misses. Crazy bad rolls. That's a hit for 5 damage. Fireball again. Misses. When I will decide to use EJ, that's when I'm going to roll very high scores. 9 hits it for Grut. 8 damage. Fireball. It's finally. Damn. Well, 75 damage. Grutz is dead. If he's really dead, not sure yet.
Sit on him,
EJ advises.
maybe it'll keep him down.
But this time, Grut stays knackered. Even poking him in ticklish places doesn't get a steer.
Let's loot this place.
EJ remarks triumphantly.
See what's inside the jeweled chest.
Okay, you agree, nodding loath, since there is a tunnel to the north, clearly marked, secret exit, and several platinum wheelbarrows to help you shift the loot. You lift the chest down from the top of the heap and carefully throw back the lid. Inside is a glistening gold and diamond heart, shining with the unmistakable lustre of potent magic. You stare at it entranced.
What is it?
Asks EJ. I don't know, you whisper. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. I just don't know what it might be. But there is, I suppose, a possibility. You might find out by using the secret exit to reach the section at the end. Is there a secret exit at the last section? -2. There's no secret door there. Well, I guess it just means go to the end of the book. Pip, triumphant. They walk together in the growing twilight, heads together, lost in conversation. They made a strangely contrasting pair, these two men. Both were tall, but one was muscular, broad-shouldered, and with brownish red hair and beard, every inch a warrior, and every inch a king. The other was thin to the point of emaciation, dressed in white, flowing robes that matched his white, flowing beard, and wearing, perched atop his head, a pointed hat, on which was embroidered crescents, stars, and mystic symbols of various descriptions. "But is it possible?" asked the king.
If it is possible at all, then Pip will succeed,
replied the wizard. King Arthur nodded dourly. He had been against the adventure from the very beginning, and as a fundamentally honest man, he had been against the idea that Pip should be deceived. Yet Merlin had claimed it necessary.
"The problem,"
Merlin had said when the matter was first discussed,
"is that the art of Avalon is magic. If you set out to look for it, you will never find it. It may only be discovered by someone who is searching for something entirely different. By someone who has not the slightest thought of finding the art."
He had sniffed and added,
"Ideally by someone who hasn't even heard of the art of Avalon."
"How does this Grot character come to have it?" the king had asked then. And Merlin, scratching at his beard, had replied sorely,
"Stole it, of course, but he didn't set out to steal it. That would have been quite impossible. He was after something else altogether, the sacred long johns of John the Baptist, a valuable religious relic, believed to be in the possession of the Archbishop of Canterbury. These are heavy magical matters, your majesty. The spell that was sent out to filch the long johns was diverted by the aura of sanctity and landed instead on the art of Avalon. A dreadful business, and a dreadfully dangerous business. I doubt if Grot knows what he has, but if he ever finds out, he will undoubtedly use the art to depose you and take control of the entire realm himself. It hardly bears thinking about."
Thus it had been decided to try to get the art of Avalon back before Grot found out quite how powerful a magical artifact he had stolen. And on the basis of past experience, there was only one warrior in the realm with sufficient courage, ingenuity, and sheer dumb luck. Yeah, mainly sheer dumb luck or unluck. To do the job. Pip.
"I'll say Grot owes me money,"
Merlin told the king.
"That one's fool enough to believe anything."
But now that Pip had disappeared into the nightmare confines of Grot's magically protected tomb, the good King Arthur was having serious second thoughts. "You should have said something, Merle. Given some hint."
"I do wish you wouldn't call me that,"
Merlin said. "There's nobody listening."
"Even so, anyway, what hint could we have given that wouldn't have given the whole game away? Remember, it's no good looking for the art of Avalon. You only find it if you're looking for something else. In this case, Pip is looking for loot and booty and adventure, greedy little haggis. So there's an excellent chance the art will be rescued entirely by accident."
Behind them loomed the overpowering greystone bulk of Tintagel, King Arthur's Cornish keep. Since the air was growing chill, they turned back towards it now, as if by prior agreement. "It's been a long time," King Arthur murmured.
"It's a very difficult adventure," Merlin replied.
"All the same."
"Perhaps we should sit vigil in the castle chapel,"
Merlin suggested. "Why there?" asked the king.
"Because a secret passageway from Grodd's tomb has its exit directly underneath the altar stone."
The king stopped, appalled. "Are you serious?" Merlin nodded vaguely. "But we must block it off. We must."
"Calm yourself, dear Majesty. It has been magically locked for years, against Grodd, that is. Anyone else can pass through it without problem."
Thus these two old friends walked together in the growing dusk into the great keep of Tintagel and made their way through the rush-strewn corridors of the castle chapel, and there, amidst the smell of incense and the flickering glow of candles, they sat silent and waited. And waited. "Is it possible," the king asked eventually, "that Grodd may have won?" Yes, it's really possible. Merlin shrugged philosophically.
"All things are possible, great king, although I will remind you that Pip has a fearsome right hook when aroused."
They lapsed into silence again and waited. "Is it possible," asked the king, "that Pip might have been killed?"
"All things are possible," Merlin replied. "And that particular thing is actually quite likely, but let us not forget the magical re-rolling of the life points."
Midnight came and went, and still they waited. Meanwhile, somewhere in the bowels of the earth, you were having your own problems. Having taken the corridor marked Exit, you quickly discovered it should actually have been marked Grodd's Revenge, since it led directly into a maze as difficult and tangled as a plate of spaghetti, a maze in which you were soon well and truly lost. Sounds like the maze in this book. Nor was it an empty maze, as you followed what little homing instinct remained with you. Nasty little sounds assailed your ears, clearly indicating that monsters lurked around each bend, although to be fair, you didn't actually see any, ready to make a meal if you given half a chance. It was in this nervous state, bravely pushing a platinum wheelbarrow on which were piled artifacts of every description, gold, gems, and most important of all, that curious casket you found, clenching EJ firmly between your teeth, that you came at last to a narrow passageway leading upwards. You followed this route hopefully, since it was the first passage that did not actually descend, but it stopped abruptly, blocked by a massive stone slab.
"You'll never get through that,"
EJ remarked. You replied, it being difficult to talk with your mouth full of sword. And having put EJ in his place, you proceeded to use the mystic technique beloved of all adventurers when faced with massive stone slabs. You kicked it. The altar stone in the Tintagel chapel slid to one side with a grinding of hidden gears. Merlin, who had nodded off, snapped fully awake.
"Pip?"
he called.
"Is that you, Pip?"
And an excited voice from the depths of the newly revealed tunnel called back. "I've got your 50 gold pieces, Merlin, and a funny sort of jewel heart thing in a casket." So that was it. Book 7 of the GrailQuest series, Tomb of Nightmares. during a short time. About an hour ago, it looked quite dim. I didn't know where we were. We are kind of lost with all the secret doors. Well, there was a warning at the beginning of the book that told in this vein that it would be a harder one with lots of secret doors, but nah. The pewter medallion thing, that's the... Perchance I recall last week, I think I saw a pewter medallion somewhere. And, well, that's it. If you write a game book, when there's an important item lying around that the player need to take, please write it down in italics at the end of the section. Just to make sure that the player writes it down on his sheet, which is something that the Lone Wolf books do correctly, contrarily to the GrailQuest books here. Anyway, next week will be the last of the series of GrailQuest. I don't recall the name of the book. Ah yeah, here it is. So, next week, same channel, same time, the end of GrailQuest with Legion of the Dead.